Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the 98th episode of the Quarantine Happy Hour, the Old Humble Quarantine Happy Hour. Let's get that countdown going. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages, welcome to the 98th episode of the Old Humble Quarantine Happy Hour program. We have 3 episodes left. Count them 3. Number 98, this one, number 99 next week, and number 100. But this week is the show that we have. It's probably the biggest one we've had all year. We have, of course, the lovely and talented co-host, Lisa, which I will be bringing up now. If I hit the right button, there's Lisa. Hey, there's everybody. We got Lisa here to my left. We have Katie from Beyond Seattle Eats down here in center stage below us. Ladies, say hi.
Hello.
Lisa, of course, is my, we'll go with legal advisor. Jail, not out of trouble.
I am that. That is one of my roles.
She's my conscience here on my left shoulder. She's my radar detector. She goes off like randomly screeching at me to behave even when I'm behaving.
It's good to have people like that in your life, for sure.
Yes, when you're thinking about misbehaving, I know.
Well,
I'm also the chief bottle labeler.
You are our chief bottle labeler. That is true indeed. And in fact, it's probably a safe bet for you just to randomly text me and say, "Don't do that." That's probably a fairly safe bet.
It's not so random though, Joe.
But you could probably do that. You could, absolutely.
I probably could, and still be right.
Yeah, absolutely. And then down here in center stage from my left and below, we have Katie from Beyond Seattle Eats, the world's most okayest competitive eater, and the grand champion, or possible, we'll go with potential grand champion competitive eater at the Old Humble Distilling Company. We'll go with that because I was reminded by my conscience here, Jiminy Cricket, that you haven't actually eaten anything on the show, so we can't technically call you the grand champion competitive eater for the Old Humble Distilling Company Grand Champion competitive eater. That's a long title. We should
we have rules.
We should make that into a acronym. GCEOHDCG. We'll figure it out. Chat, fix that for us. Make that work. Katie, say hi to the people.
Hey everyone. I see
we have the Tuna Emperor has joined us.
Yes, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Tuna, but he is a longtime follower, supporter of mine. He supports all of the competitive eaters, a lot of the Chili Head community. So glad to see Tuna here.
And in fact, he got in with the first comment at 8:04 p.m. Central Time.
Nice.
This is a happy hour, so I'm going to ask the standard question. What are y'all drinking?
I'm at work, so.
So scotch?
Just a soda.
Vodka in a tumbler. What you got over there, Katie?
Yeah, so I shared with you before we went live, but I don't typically drink whiskey. Nothing against whiskey, but I'm a beer and wine gal. So in honor of the show tonight, and I hope this isn't offensive, but it came in a small bottle. I got this pre-made on the rocks Knob Creek Old Fashioned.
Very cool. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. That's a good drink.
And I have a fun glass. So.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's one of those glasses that don't fall over no matter how hard you try.
Yeah.
Disclaimer, they do.
Oh, yeah, you can definitely make them fall over.
And my cocktail for the night is one of my favorite cocktails. Let's see here. I can do this, I think. We'll go to camera 2. There it is. All right. My favorite cocktail. We start with our special reserve. We'll go with 1 full pour, and then add 1 more, and then we'll put in our mixer, which is a chunk of ice. We'll stir it.
You feel fancy.
Refreshing. There we go. Back to camera
Nice.
1. And I spilled some water on the ground too. That'll be all right. Yeah, it's on the ground. Good. It didn't fall on anything important. So that's my cocktail for the night. I call this a double shot of Special Reserve. Available at a bar near you. So there you go. Now, I do have a really cool announcement for next week. Y'all want to hear this?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're going to pull out our Wheel of Fate next week.
Fate?
And this bottle right here, this bottle of Special Reserve right here, this one in my hand right here, for every person that comments in chat next week on our 99th show, they will go onto the Wheel of Fate. We'll spin the Wheel of Fate halfway through the show, and that person will get this bottle of Special Reserve.
Nice.
And between now and next week, I may do stuff to it to make it really cool looking, but we'll see. Depends on how much time I have on my hands.
Right. I think you need to mark the bottom of it so that we know that it is actually that bottle.
Yeah, I could probably pull that off. I don't have, of course, I don't have a marker or a Sharpie on me. I have my desk, but this is a,
Your tape?
you know, we would you'd think I'd have like
removed. It needs to be permanent.
Yeah, markers and stuff like that. I know.
Oh,
Call me
yeah.
lovely.
You know, chain of custody and all.
Yep.
That's true.
I got a solution to this. I just need to send a quick text. Lisa, tell me what books you've read this week.
Oh gosh, I don't think I've read any books this week. It has been a very case law intensive week with the federal rules of civil procedure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been reading,
movies?
but not for leisure.
Right. Reading for work, which I love.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm at a firm where they really like for me to research and write, which is what I love to do. But yeah, I've been mad at a plaintiff's attorney this week for filing something. So I filed something today.
Nice.
Awesome. That's very cool. And actually, you know, I don't actually need to mark this bottle because it will be a one-of-a-kind bottle by next week anyway.
But how are we going to know that that's the bottle that you made the one-of-a-kind bottle?
You know, I sell whiskey for a living. I am a professional sin merchant. If you can't trust a professional sin merchant, who are you going to trust?
Do you have a pocket knife? You could like scratch it.
Actually, I do have a pocket knife. Katie, you're brilliant. Katie, what movies have you seen this week?
Movies. Why am I drawing a blank? I watch a movie almost all the time. Actually, I haven't been watching movies this week. We've been pretty busy, so my husband and I have been watching an episode of that show Sweet Tooth every night. It's on Netflix.
Can't see that mark. It's there. Trust me.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Okay.
I've seen that come
All right.
up on my queue several times. Is it any good?
Yeah, you know, when I first saw it, I was like, ugh, this looks like a really easy, like, children's or family show. Which it would be great to watch with kids, probably I would say like 10 and older. But it's produced by Robert Downey Jr. and his wife. I used his name first, but she's actually listed first, so I think it's mostly her idea. I just say that so you know who I'm talking about. But yeah, it's a really great like post-apocalyptic story. It might be triggering for some people because it's about a pandemic, but really, really good.
Cool. I can't think of any movie that I have watched this week that's any good.
That's shocking, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I watch a lot. Yes, thank you, my sweet. Thank you. They just got back from camp. She's exhausted.
Yes.
Oh, my dog is knocking at the door. This is so unprofessional. Just one moment.
Is that Lisa?
That is Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
That's Katie from Seattle Eats. Beyond Seattle Eats, joining us on the show.
Absolutely terrible.
Look, my lovely wife is just back from camp. See?
Yeah, I've been outside all day.
Isn't she lovely? Isn't she gorgeous?
Blowing.
The Mrs.
Hello.
Old Humble Distilling
Hi,
Company.
Lisa.
Say hi to
She's
Katie.
a
Oh, hi,
saint.
Katie. Couldn't remember any.
She can't hear either one of y'all right now.
Of Job for putting up with you.
I gotta put the kids to bed.
Bye. Love
Bye.
you. But she did bring me this,
No, well,
with which
Oh.
I put different lid.
I can put a little star on top.
Okay, go. Walk. Go.
That almost, you probably see that. Can you see that? Yeah, you
Yes.
can see that. It's got a star.
Good job,
there.
Joe.
All right. She moved my camera. All right. Are we good? We're good. We're good. So Sweet Tooth will certainly be on my list of things to watch this week. That's a good one. And as usual, Lisa, you have failed to give me a recommendation of anything to entertain me over the course of the next week. Thanks a bunch.
Well, if you need more to watch, after this, we're going to watch an oldish movie, but a good one. One of my favorites, but my daughter's been wanting to watch Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Okay.
So we're going to watch that after this.
Well, I can say this. We watched It last night. Me and my oldest son watched It. And it's not a new movie. It's the first chapter is, if you get into it, it's good. But if you're constantly like, if it's on the background, you're distracted, you're not like in the movie, it's hard to be into it and get the spine tingling chills and stuff. The second chapter I wasn't so much a fan of, but that first chapter was really good.
Yeah.
And earlier this week I also spilled whiskey on my keyboard and it doesn't work.
Oh no.
So, I'm using my little mini computer way up here. So
Gotcha.
but that also means I can have all kinds of cool stuff in front of me, like my whiskey, my bottle, my phone, So there you go.
Nice.
Okay, let me scroll up here through chat real quick.
Okay, so back to Sweet Tooth. Susan Downey is the name of Robert Downey Jr.'s wife, and
Correct.
she is the executive producer of Sweet Tooth.
Correct.
Right.
Yes, thank you.
Because she's
Downey
Robert Downey Jr.'s wife.
Yeah, exactly. I mention her that way just because when you say Susan Downey, people are like, "Who's Susan Downey?" It's kind of like Amal Clooney. You probably appreciate as a lawyer, but a lot of people don't know who she is.
She's smart woman.
She is smart. She is.
Exactly. She was smart enough to marry that good-looking dude, and what's his name? George. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was smart enough to snag himself a good woman because she's.
I think
she's
so.
She's catch.
Yeah. I mean,
there was a European.
I'd be all right if my wife married her too.
When they first got married, there was a European newspaper that actually the headline said like famous international lawyer marries actor. So I liked that.
Oh yeah. I'm scrolling through the comments here. No Limits wants to know how many comments he needs to make next week in order to guarantee him a bottle.
You don't know.
No, you just get on the wheel one time. 50 comments will get you on one time. I can't have one person having 50 spots we learned our lesson last week about having multiple slide, or was it last week, the week before last, with the dumb rant wheel with multiple
That was last week.
Was that last week? Seems like so long ago. I got opinions about rants. They're just dumb.
Okay. Moose Gal knows tuna.
Does she now?
She does.
Where's that?
Like,
There's Moosey. I'm gonna have to find. Golly. Okay, I'm just bad at comments. Screw this. Yeah, I love my commenters. I love my fans. The people who are supporting the show and watching us. I can't see me.
Okay. I see my buddy Lee through the grate is here.
No alien history videos. Alien histories are fake. God. Anyway. You just don't get, man. See, here's the thing about rants. Like in general, like I don't get that worked up about a lot of stuff. I gotta like put energy into getting worked up. So I can't like give it like a legitimate like I'm mad about this, because I'm not really mad about it, because it's just like, like
not
dumb.
important to you.
But yeah, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But you get me on something that's important to me, like somebody who says they really only drink scotch, and then they go and pick up a bottle of Jack Daniels. Boy, just stand back, because that bomb is going to go off. That is just damn it.
Oh, you're getting hot.
Bluebell, the best ice cream in the country. All right, you can't be mad when you're singing the Bluebell song. Do y'all have Bluebell up in Seattle?
I don't think so.
All right, I didn't.
That's a
They
good
used to
question.
not sell it outside of Texas, and I don't know if they sell it all the way that far west, because y'all don't get all the good stuff. Y'all don't get like Whataburger and Shiner and things like that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I grew up in New Mexico, and we have Bluebell, of course, but not up here. I haven't seen it.
That makes sense. Oh, and you probably only have it there for a little while because it melts on account of being in New Mexico and it being a desert and everybody living in
Right.
dusty
there are
ranches.
mountains there too, right, Joe?
They have a what?
They have mountains.
In New Mexico? Yeah, they got a couple. I've
There's
seen
a
them.
whole range.
Ski resorts.
But the mountains in New Mexico are also in the desert. I mean, that's where they put everything in New Mexico. Everything's in the desert.
But they're also part of the Rocky Mountain Range, so.
Yes. And we will be going there next month. I'm very excited. Not in New Mexico. We're going to be going to the real Rocky Mountains in Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Joe.
Not the, what? There's like the real Rocky Mountains, and like everybody else has like they're kind of rocky.
Like the slightly jagged mountains or something.
Yeah, I mean they're rocky, but it's not the Rocky Mountain. Rocky Mountain High is in Colorado, right? Everybody knows this. I'm not making this up. I'm not inventing these rules on the spot.
It is, but it's just because
Really?
people only know Albuquerque from Bugs Bunny. So the Sandia, Albuquerque is also a mile-high city, and the Sandias are 2 miles high. So.
And I will say that Albuquerque has a fine little distillery in it called the Left Turn Distillery, where I got this bottle of
cute.
bourbon back in the beginning of the apocalypse, right? The week before the apocalypse started, as a matter of fact. And that was a
bottle, Joe.
Well, I drank it in March of 2021. There was bourbon in there at one point. Really delicious. So anyway, all right. So it's been fun nonsense. Let's move on to the other nonsense. The other fun nonsense. Katie, you are a competitive eater, which I find to be fascinating because I am just an amateur eater, and I'm very good at it because I pack it away.
Well,
in fact,
also
not to brag,
Carolina Reaper nuts thing
I never want to do that again.
ago too.
I never want to do that again.
Definitely an amateur move.
Yeah,
nice.
I never want to do that again. That sucked. But not to brag or nothing, but I did eat a double cheeseburger before the show started. So
good for you. Yeah.
Straighten my fake tie.
From Whataburger?
Yes, it was a Whataburger as a matter of fact. And it was the first Whataburger I've had in like 2 weeks. But tell me about some of your food competitions. I mean, everybody knows the big one, the big food competition, the Nathan's hot dog eating competition, which you are going to be competing in on July 4th.
I am. So this year usually there are qualifiers all across the country, starting in February leading up to the 4th of July. But for safety reasons, they still couldn't have those this year. So we're going by invite. I was invited last year, but it was really strange in that there were only 5 men invited and 5 women. This year, there are at least 18 men and 10 women. From what I've seen talking to my friends, there's more than 10 women, so that's kind of cool. But I have been invited back.
Very cool. I didn't realize that there were qualifying competitions to get into, which I guess makes sense because they don't just unhook the velvet rope at Nathan's on the boardwalk and say, all right, come on. And let any old dum-dum come out of the audience to cram hot dogs down there. How many hot dogs does the winner typically eat?
So for the Nathan's is unique in that they actually separate out the men from the women, which they don't do in any other the major league eating challenges. But last year, Mickey Sudo, who's been our female champion for the past 7 years, set the women's record at 48 and a half hot dogs in 10 minutes.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. All right,
So to put that in perspective,
this is where you make the bad joke of, gosh, she must have been popular in college. But I'm not going to make that joke.
oh, you're
I'm
not.
going to behave myself and be above that.
So the amazing thing to me about that,
She's beside herself.
Disapproved.
Very much so. Like my work.
Yeah, the
I get that
amazing
from my
thing
real
about
life
that,
too.
because Mickey is so like above and beyond the rest of us that the other 4 women, myself included, our hot dogs combined equaled exactly how many she ate. That's how much better she is than the rest of us.
So that answers Walter's question over here. He wants to know how many Nathans are you going to be able to scarf down at the competition. So it's like what, 18 to 20-ish? Somewhere in that neighborhood?
So no. Last year I set my personal record at a contest with 15.
Okay.
The most I've eaten at home is 18. I tend to get like a little shell shocked at contests. So this year I'm hoping to get 16 and just beat my personal record. That would be my
very
hope.
cool.
Anything beyond that is good.
Very cool. Very cool. I had 2 hot dogs on Tuesday.
That's
It is not my personal best. My personal best is 4.
nice.
But I wasn't really trying. So, I mean, I could probably do 5 if I really tried. Tuna heard that there will be Nathan's tickets raffled off this year. Is that true? They're going to actually raffle off tickets?
I don't know about that, Tuna. I know they're selling tickets, which is unique, I believe. I didn't think they sold tickets in the past. Maybe I just wasn't aware. This year is different also in that usually we eat on the stage in front of the Nathan's Famous restaurant at Coney Island. There's a big stage area they set up. But I think to continue a little bit of social distancing, they have us playing at the Cyclone Stadium at Coney Island to have people like in seats and away from the stage. So they are selling tickets, but I don't know if they're raffling them off.
All right. Well, cool. Luther says you should be able to do 18.
Yeah, I thought that last year, Luther.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'll try.
Just saying. Just saying. 18. I mean, if you can do 16, you can do 18. That's just 2 more.
Yeah, it's always harder though, because you have like tens of thousands of people watching you. Plus, you have like the humidity and heat of New York, which being in Houston, you probably like wouldn't care. But for me in Seattle,
Cry me a river, New Yorkers. Cry me a river, and it'll mix in with what's coming off me onto the sidewalk anyway. It won't matter.
60 degrees is perfect for me. I can't handle the heat.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what it is all the time up in Seattle, isn't it? It's a nice steady 60 to 80 degrees, a little misty most of the time, and everything's just always comfortable. Everybody's always wearing flannel.
Yeah, and then in the winter, like it really doesn't even snow. It gets down to 40 usually is the coldest.
Ah, gotcha. So you said you're in training for this. Well, before we get to the training thing, what other food competitions do you do during the year? Is it just hot dogs, or do you do like pie eating competitions like they had in Stand By Me, or bologna sandwiches, or I don't know, pizza? I mean, I've seen some of the stuff you've done on your channel, like the hot stuff that where mistakes were made. But what other food competitions are there?
Yeah, so right now, because I'm signed with Major League Eating, I can't really do any other contest other than their contest. But in the past, I've done a jalapeno eating contest. I've done one of my first big contests was a street taco eating contest. I've done hands-free pie, which is a street
taco eating contest like Russian roulette?
No.
Like you keep eating till you get the one in the chamber and you're done. No. You gotta go.
No, but it was kind of a crazy contest because it was 30 minutes long, so that's a really long time to be eating tacos.
Yeah.
But no, I've also done a hands-free pie eating contest. I've done hands-free strawberry shortcake. For Major League Eating, I go to the tamale contest in Louisville, Texas every year. So that's like the one time a year I come down to Texas. I just did the sweet corn eating contest in Florida. I've done croquetas in Florida.
How quickly can you clear off a ear of corn?
Oh gosh, that was horrible.
Is there a technique to that? You like got to get it underneath the front teeth.
The best technique is called either the rake or the Florida stripper, and you scrape it down your teeth.
Okay.
And I can't do that; it hurts.
I think we need to have a contest of what other things are called other than the Florida stripper herself. What other actions are known as the Florida stripper? And if anyone successfully describes the technique of stripping corn off of the cob, which is known as the Florida stripper, they get like a quarter or something. I don't know.
I like it.
We should do something like that. So what is the technique known as the Florida stripper? Is that just the same as the rake, where they just
scraping it down your teeth?
Ah, gotcha.
And they just turn it. I used the typewriter method this past year, and it didn't work well for me. Eating corn, so that contest is 12 minutes. Eating corn on the cob for 12 minutes is really painful.
I bet so. See, the Missouri stripper technique of eating corn on the cob is when you just like put it, like just pull it right through, but only use these two teeth because these are gone.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a really good technique. It doesn't get the stuff on top, but it gets the stuff on the sides, and then you just rotate it and pull the stuff back off the other two sides. It's a really good technique there. But
you don't have to not have the teeth much because there's less teeth. So
well, there you go. Lisa, you got any questions? Because I got like 500 more.
You go right ahead. I'm just,
Just raise the red flag when I get too close to those legal borders.
Yeah, where, if I hear something that might,
I'll give you something to
desist letter,
The No Limits asked about the 72-ounce steak in Amarillo. You done that?
I have not. I would love to attempt that. I will say I don't think my capacity is at a place where I'd be able to do that. Yeah. That's why I'm the world's okayest competitive eater, because I self-admittedly do not train or push myself the way some of these eaters do. And I don't know that I ever will. I have a full-time job. I'm salaried, which is like legalized slavery. I have a family. I have 2 teenagers, so I'm busy.
I get that. Can you eat more than your 2 teenagers?
Yes. Yes, okay. I absolutely can. Although my 16-year-old son can polish off a full frozen pizza in under 10 minutes. So he has potential if you want to do
like a full frozen pizza, like a DiGiorno pizza.
Yeah.
I mean, because even 10 minutes, because I can eat one of those Tortino pizzas, no big deal. That's like
yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah, no,
but
he
like
likes
a DiGiorno,
supreme. Like
I get that. Have you ever done the 10,000 calorie challenge?
No, I've actually planned that out. I have this is so nerdy, but I have a little sheet that I carry in my wallet of exactly what I'm going to order. I've planned the whole day out, but I'm waiting until I get 10,000 subscribers. That's going to be my celebration.
So is that one of those things where it's over a 24-hour period, or is it just in your, okay, so you can like start at 8 in the morning and go until 8 in the morning the next day. So you can like finish it off with a big breakfast the next day.
Correct. What I've heard is the best course of action is to get up really early the day of and start at like 4 or 5 a.m. Because by the end of the day, you just want to go to sleep.
Well, I guess it's easier to get up at 4 or 5 a.m. over there on the West Coast because y'all are 2 hours. That's like 6 o'clock normal people time. That's fair.
And it doesn't really work that way.
I think it does. I'm pretty sure it does. Because when we were traveling, I remember this, when we were traveling home from our honeymoon, this was 20 years ago, we were coming from Fort Lauderdale and we drove east. So we were moving towards like the next earlier hour. And instead of staying in Pensacola, we drove an extra hour to stay in Monroe in Alabama, so we could get over the central, from the eastern time zone to the central time zone, so that we could sleep an extra hour. it totally, definitely, probably worked out okay. I think.
Okay, I'll give you that.
And I also know when we were traveling east one year on spring break, we did it the opposite way where we slept in Pensacola instead of in Monroe, and we lost 2 hours because it was also daylight savings time, and it screwed up our entire vacation. We were off by like a half a day for the rest of the trip, like waking up at noon and getting in on Wednesday instead of on Sunday. It was just a mess. I don't know how the time worked, but we messed it all up, and it's because of that, I think, although it's not scientific. Trust me. I sell whiskey. I do science stuff.
I gotta step out, guys.
Yep.
Lisa's got to work. All right. Well, I'm going to put her in the green room until she comes. You're in timeout, Lisa. How do I do this? Remove her from stream? Oh yeah, that'll work. She's in timeout while she goes and works. Okay, tell us about your training. How do you prepare to shove a bunch of hot dogs inside of you? That doesn't sound right. How do you prepare to shove a bunch of hot dogs eat a bunch of hot dogs? We'll go with that one.
Yeah, so a big part of it, like I mentioned, is capacity training. So what I like to do, a lot of people do water training, which is really effective for them. I don't recommend it for anyone at home. It's not safe. There is such thing as water toxicity. People can die from it. Leave that to the professionals, but a lot of people just water train. What I prefer, because I hate water training, is I will drink a lot of water before and then eat pounds and pounds of steamed vegetables, maybe add some cottage cheese, some chicken, things like that. And then when I'm done with that meal, I'll chug as much water as I can. And I weigh myself before and after that process and try and increase how many pounds I gain as I go through that as the weeks progress.
I got you. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when me and a few Thanksgivings ago, first we'll get this question. Keeping it neat, folks. Cheers, keeping it neat, guys. Kinfolk out there. They want to know if you ever done a chicken wing eating contest, which I assume chicken wing eating, not just a chicken wing where you just like, how long can you do chicken wings? Yeah, the last person doing this wins. Get the car. I assume it's chicken wing eating.
I haven't, like I mentioned before, because I'm signed with MLE, it's limited what I can do. They do have a contest usually with Hooters, but that's usually like the really top eaters that go to that. I have done the Blazing Hot Wings challenge at what is that restaurant? Buffalo Wild Wings.
Okay.
But that's the closest I've come.
Is that just how many you can eat?
No, when we did it, so it used to be like a formal contest and you had to eat 12. They're super spicy. You have to eat 12 in 6 minutes. When I went, they were weird and it wasn't a formal challenge. So we did 18 in 9 minutes.
Okay.
But
I got you. Okay. So, yeah, they confirmed it's chicken wing eating, obviously. I mean, I'm a dope, but we know my nonsense gets through the ether. So me and my little brother, we come up with these dumb ideas too. Okay. I love that some guys sat around and made like a major league eating like league. Like, I mean, it's kind of like how rodeo started. Just a bunch of drunk cowboys going, "I bet you can't ride that bull." And another one going, "Bet you I can." And then they like, bet money on it. And then dude jumps on the bull and he breaks his neck. And he was told you couldn't. And then rodeo was invented. But me and my little brother, we sit around on a Thanksgiving, like, God, I feel like I've eaten 20 pounds of turkey. Oh. And then the other one goes, well, wait a minute. What if we did eat 20 pounds of turkey? What would that look like? And then, this started like a 3-day conversation about eating 20 pounds. What would that do? What would that even look like? How much food is 20 pounds of food? And so when you do this water training, what's the most, like, what's the legit most you weigh yourself after the fact? And I mean, it's water, so it's not like you're drinking mercury, so you don't get
right.
I mean, obviously there's physical limits to it, but what's the most you've done with water to raise your body weight, I guess?
Yeah. So this year I got started really late. I don't know why, but I until they actually invited me, I didn't start training. Last year, because it's a whole long story, but I was on like a weight loss journey and training for capacity at the same time. But last year, the highest I got to with the water and steamed vegetables combined, I think I got to 10.4 pounds in one sitting.
Wow. Wow. So you added 10 pounds of water, like literal, just not like water like retention, just like water in your stomach with 10 pounds of water and vegetables. Wow.
Right.
I mean, I live in a house with a lovely wife, and she complains about, oh, I feel so heavy, like once a month, and she just never stops.
Right.
She's not watching, so I can say all kinds of shit. And Lisa's still not back from her call, so I can get away with whatever I want. Don't tell on me.
I won't.
But that's entirely different than it just sitting in your stomach and sloshing around. And how long does that, like, how long before it just, you get back to normal? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I don't know weight-wise how long it takes, because I try not to weigh myself the day or two after doing that, because it's triggering.
I get that.
Because I'm mostly just looking at the weight increase. I don't really want to know how it's hanging around in my body. But I will say, like, when I'm training regularly like that, like 2-3 times a week, it usually takes 3 or 4 hours before I feel okay again.
I got you. Okay, so at least at that point, it's kind of moving into the places where it's going to eventually go. Yeah, I get you. Yeah. That, I mean, Tuna says the rodeo is serious business. It is serious business.
Yeah.
But it seriously started off on a dare. Just like I'm guessing most of these food competitions started off on a dare. Like,
I'm pretty sure golf started off on a dare.
Dogs. Bet you I can eat 7. Bet you I can eat 20. You're on. And then boom, we have Nathan.
Yep.
It's got to have started off with a dare, and now it's making like it's a whole major league thing. That's just, I find that to be awesome. Keeping it neat says 1 gallon of water weighs 7 pounds.
Yeah, it's 8 point something pounds.
Yeah, it's like a pint's a pound. A pint of water is a pound of it weighs a pound. A pint's a pound the world around is.
Exactly. 16 ounces.
So 16 ounces weighs. Okay, yeah, 8 pounds.
That's a pound.
Yeah, 8 pints is a gallon for some strange reason. I think, right? It's like 12 cups.
It's
I don't know the conversion. We should definitely do metric. I know that this is 1/5 of a gallon, which is why it's called a fifth.
You know that.
My dad taught me that. He's like, you know why it's called a fifth? I'm like, no, it's 750 milliliters. Like, it's 1/5 of a gallon. I'm like, oh.
Okay.
Had no idea. But it makes for very quick and easy conversions. It's not exactly the same, but it's a quick, easy conversion. When I have a gallon of booze, how many bottles is that going to make? 5. Boom. Math. See?
Nice.
Makes your brain work easy. Okay, so we were talking earlier. I want Lisa to come back for the actual demonstration of the training.
Yeah, I think we should wait for Lisa if we can.
Yeah, we need to do it because it was her idea.
It was.
And that's cool. So let's scroll up through the questions real quick. Tuna says 8.8 pounds for a gallon of water. I'm sticking with 8.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds better. 4 quarts is 8 pints. And I guess a quart is 1/4 of a gallon. So 4 quarts would be a gallon. That's why it's called a quart. Does that sound right? But like one of them had like a weird one, like it was 3. Is that cups? There's like 3 cups to a quart or 3 cups to a pint? I don't know. I don't know.
I've been drinking whiskey. What are you doing? I don't do math. Why is this happening?
Well, all we need to do is come close, right? That's how pilots do it. We just need to come close. The plane will do the rest.
8.34 pounds in a gallon.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
But on camera, it's like 10.
Yeah.
Because the camera adds.
That's right, 10 pounds.
10%. Okay, so Nathan's is July 4th. When you're done with Nathan's and you got all these hot dogs in you, what do you? What do you do after that? Do you even eat dinner? You just like screw it?
No.
I'm done for the week.
No. So what I did the first 2 years, no, did I do that the second year? Yes. So there's an after party immediately after the Nathan's contest on the Coney Island Boardwalk.
Uh-huh.
My first 2 years, I actually walked through the hot sun, which I complained about before, and had a beer or two at Ruby's on the boardwalk, and then later took the subway home. This past year, because everything was so different, and I just know how awful I feel afterwards, I took the paid transportation that Emily provides, and I went back to my hotel. But usually we drink a lot of water afterwards, we shower up, we nap, and then there's a huge secondary after party, the after party, at an undisclosed location where all the competitive eaters get together, including people that aren't in Major League Eating but are YouTubers or independent eaters. And then people that are past eaters, we all get together and we have this huge crazy party till 4 a.m. It's great.
We're all independent eaters.
Yeah, that's true.
So the after party is the place to be. That's the one that sounds like it's fun.
Party.
There's the after party with the cameras, and then the after party with the laxatives and castor oil and stuff like that to
No, my
here's your room for if you need 15 minutes to yourself. Here's the vomitorium over here to the left. Everywhere else is over here. That's very vented and it has windows. Grab your own feather.
My second year I did it right, and I made a beer only rule for myself so I could stay out all night. So we went to a few different bars, but we found one that was open till 4 a.m. Then we went to breakfast at IHOP, probably got to bed at 6 a.m., got back up at 10 a.m. and went to brunch. So we know how to party.
I gotcha. Yeah. I mean, 100 years ago, I ran a marathon. And after the marathon, I ate about this many pancakes. And they were like, how can you eat pancakes after you ran Main Event Pong says hi. How can you eat pancakes after you've done all of that? And I was like, with a fork in this hand and a fork in this hand, and you just kind of like that. I'm hungry. Yep. So, after a competition like where you're eating, I assume the natural reaction is you just go run a marathon. It's the opposite.
No.
After you run a marathon, you want to eat a lot of food. So after you eat a lot of food, obviously you're going to want to go run a marathon, right?
No, mostly sleeping and then drinking.
I mean, you've got a base for it to lay on. You might as well.
Right.
You might as well let the bread and hot dog meat. I don't even know if it's fair to call it. Is it fair to call it meat? Nathan's is all beef, right?
Yeah,
that's
it's all beef.
Meat. Okay. And that's exactly what you want to pour a bunch of whiskey on top of.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best hot dogs that you can get quality-wise.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever had a Nathan's. I mean, I've had the Oscar Mayer, obviously. It's everybody's favorite wiener. I think it's...
You said wiener.
Unless you're talking about Ron Jeremy. Oh, damn it. I had to go there. Yeah, but I mean, that's everybody's favorite wiener. Wait, didn't Chris Evans accidentally post a dick pic on Twitter or Instagram or something like that?
Oh, I missed that.
Didn't he post a nude selfie accidentally? Chat, back me up on this. And I think that officially, when he accidentally posted his own nude on his own Instagram or Snapchat or wherever he posted, I think that officially became America's favorite wiener. And then Nathan's in second place after that. Or Oscar Mayer.
And then Google later.
Yeah, but he made a whole joke out of it. He's like, now that I have your attention, okay, that made interesting chat happen.
Yeah, the guys are liking the wiener talk.
Yeah, of course we are. So No Limit says he's glad that I make whiskey and I'm not a personal trainer. I make a damn good personal trainer. There's a CrossFit gym across the parking lot from my distillery. So there it is. Main Event Pong, like Gary Coleman's.
That's class.
America's favorite winger. Okay. You know what? Lisa might just have to miss out on this. I don't know what she's doing over there.
Okay.
She's probably making herself a drink. Okay, so quick recap.
Mhm.
While I have people over here in chat. Quick recap. Next week, episode 99. Everyone who comments in chat will get their name on the Wheel of Fate. And just to I can actually bring up the Wheel of we have an actual Wheel of Fate. If I can find it. Where is my Wheel of Fate? There's my Wheel of Fate. So I need to share that screen if I can find it. I'm still learning how to do all this. 98 episodes in, and I'm learning how to. Streamlab I'm using relatively new.
I still haven't paid for the upgrade,
one?
so you're ahead of me.
There it is. The Wheel of Fate. There's only two things on there right now, and it's women's clothes and take left over from the rant wheel. But let's see. I got a 50% chance of taking a shot. Let's take a spin. Will it give me take a shot or women's clothes? I'm not going to rant about women's clothes. That was Lisa's thing. That was Lisa's rant last week. Because they have buttons that don't do anything and pockets that are dumb.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. The imaginary
there we
pockets.
are. Which is one of the reasons why I don't. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I don't wear women's clothes. I like pockets.
Good.
And I have a wallet, and I have to put my wallet somewhere. And if I'm wearing women's clothes, then where am I going to put my wife's wallet?
Although I would recommend, if you're open to it, secure in your masculinity, like dresses and skirts, very breezy, very airy.
Kilts are the best. Yeah. I'll rock a kilt all damn day long. And my kilt has a pocket that'll fit an entire bottle of whiskey in it. Ask me how I know.
I'm pretty sure you know how. Yeah.
It's a great kilt. I'm going to get 2 more just like it because in September there's a music festival that is on the river at the Guadalupe River here in Texas, in New Braunfels. And boy, we show up for that thing, and it's into the kilt and done for the week, finished.
Nice.
It was fantastic. Let's see here. Scrolling up through Wheel of Squid. That is from we're not going to have a Wheel of Squid. Have you ever done a calamari contest or a sushi contest or anything like that? Okay.
No, I've done like a sushi eating show on my channel, but that would be kind of expensive. I have wanted to go to like an all-you-can-eat sushi restaurant and see like how much I can eat before they kick me out. That could be fun.
Dude, you would wreck an all-you-can-eat joint. Do they even let you in Golden Corrals?
Oh yeah.
Or are they like, here comes Katie, close, we're done.
No, I love a Golden Corral. So I have a whole process, but I make this huge, disgusting salad with almost everything from the salad bar on it. So that's how I start, and that like keeps their prices low. But I also love it.
There's a lot of things that keep their prices low, and I mean
that's true. That's true.
The fact that like half of their steaks are from dogs, that's not true. Don't sue. See, Lisa's gonna not keeping me out of trouble. He wouldn't let me say that.
Stop.
All of their seafood is dolphin meat.
You're
gonna get a cease and desist letter from
Incorrect.
Golden Corral. Like when you go up to their chocolate fountain, you can just use your hand.
Don't do that.
There are reasons I don't go to Golden Corral, and that is one of them. I know what people do. And you people are disgusting. Gross me out. Ugh. Anyway,
I don't do that.
Have you ever gone? Are you ever going to go back to a full-on buffet again, knowing what is in the air? And I guess you're fully vaccinated, so you can go to a buffet anytime you want, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there are any buffets open around here, but I would go to a buffet.
They have great meat, mostly fillers and circus animals.
Hey, buddy, I like circus animals.
Hey, apparently you go to Golden Corral. That's where you get them. Okay, I'm getting that look. Lisa's back. Okay, so how much of that did you hear?
How much trouble am I in? Meat and circus animals, and I'm like,
okay, so you didn't hear the slanderous comment about their food being mostly dog, so that's cool. I didn't say that out loud at all. Don't worry about it. I'm not getting a cease and desist letter from them. See that? I live for that look. It's awesome. All right. So now for the grand event. We're going to crown you. I'm going to refresh my drink here. I'm being fancy by actually measuring it as opposed to just pouring it in the glass because I'm fancy. Okay. So we're going to crown you the grand champion. There's no trophy for this. There should be, but there's not. Can you give us a demonstration? You have a training method that you use for the hot dog eating competition. And this is how you train, and this will earn you the grand champion recognition for the Old Humble Distilling Company Quarantine Happy Hour.
So the first trick is when you have long hair, you have to put it up so you don't eat your hair.
That's probably a good thing.
It's the first trick.
Yeah. And
then
that's also a rule in the no hands pie eating contest, right?
That's true.
That's true. To avoid eating. God damn it. I'm terrible. Never mind. Sorry. I'm not even gonna finish that sentence. I heard what it sounded like as I was saying it. See, I can evolve.
All right, let me see. I wasn't planning on this, but I want to get it so you can actually see what I'm doing.
Okay.
So I like to eat standing up. Is that gonna work?
No Limits tells us that he has personally loaded food on an aircraft carrier that says not for human consumption.
Okay.
That's awesome.
I might have to sit for this. So this is not standard practice.
Okay.
Usually I would be standing, but that's just not going to work.
Is standing a better technique than sitting, or is it a better technique for you?
Yeah, so standing gives you more room in your stomach. I'm only eating one hot dog for today, so it'll be fine. But I have a dog from yesterday. It looks really sad.
I got you.
And then I've got my cup of warm water.
Certified dolphin-free hot dog, right?
It is. So, maybe. Yesterday I did a mix of Kirkland brand hot dogs, so Costco and Bar S, because I'm cheap. I got you.
Okay.
This looks like a Bar S dog. It might have dolphin meat. It might.
Make it come out my nose. God, I wasn't expecting that. Okay. So not certified dolphin-free, probably dolphin-free.
Probably.
Yeah.
No promises.
That way you can eat it on purpose.
All right. So this is called the Solomon technique. Oh, this is cold. This is going to be awesome. So the Solomon technique, you take the hot dog, you snap it in half.
Mm-hmm.
This way you can chew the whole thing a lot quicker.
Got it.
So hold on. I'm going to have to put my water right here. You can still see that. That works. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Are you gonna time her? Wait.
You want to time me?
Wait.
Are you gonna time her? I think we should time her.
Okay, I got a timer app on my phone that I definitely know how to use.
Take the bun here.
Do I have to do everything?
Should I just say 3, 2, 1, go?
Oh,
you ready?
Waited.
Are you ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. We'll pretend I just did this.
Yeah. Holy crap. Wow. And that is it. That is 21:89 is what I've got on the timer here.
Holy crap.
21 seconds, 89 hundredths for one. And you've got, what is it, a 10-minute competition?
Right.
Oh, gosh.
So on Pace Guy says that's 3 a minute. But you slow down towards the end, obviously, because you start feeling, like they start like jamming up here. You got to get the tampon stick that we use for Old Humble family gatherings when we feast and just like jam that shit down in there and go in for seconds.
Yeah, so the flavor starts to get to you towards the end. And of course, like I mentioned before, my capacity isn't the same as a lot of the eaters. So I start to get full towards the end. But yeah, I usually start off pretty strong.
Yeah. All right. That's Walter says that makes his stomach hurt. I'm with you, buddy.
Sorry, Walter.
So that's 20 seconds for a hot dog. God damn, that is impressive.
Thank you.
That makes you you are the grand champion, professional eating competitor, grand champion, competitive eater, GCCE, grand champion, GCCE, OHDCHHP. Yeah, there you go. I think the acronym's even more cumbersome. That's impressive. I'll have to find a belt buckle or something and send it up to you. And then you can say you can hold it up on your because trophies in Texas obviously for belt buckles. And as grown-ups, we do things and we don't get trophies for them, and we should. And that occurred to me several years ago when I got an A in my statistics class that I was taking for my MBA. I'm like, I got an A in the class. You don't get a trophy for that, though. And I'm like, wait a minute. I ought to get a trophy for getting an A in statistics. And I went and bought myself a belt buckle. So I actually do have a trophy for getting an A in statistics when I was a full-on grown-up. So there.
I love that.
Participation trophy, parents.
I had somebody make fun of me for these trophies behind me. They said that I didn't grow up out of high school. And I was like, well, no, I didn't really get trophies in high school. Those are competitive eating trophies. So, no, I didn't grow up, but those are adult trophies.
Those are awesome. We should definitely go and buy ourselves more trophies for our own personal accomplishments. And for real life competitive accomplishments, I love getting trophies for stuff that we do. In fact, I have somewhere around here, I have a medal that was sent to me from the New York International Spirits Competition for our whiskey, but I don't know where it's at. It's in a drawer somewhere over here. It's going to go in a cabinet when I finally open up my tasting room. It's totally worth it. Walter says I need to get you a dog-shaped trophy.
But cool.
I think they do dog-shaped trophies for like Westminster, and I don't think those are people trophies. Maybe they have a hot dog-shaped trophy. I have to look into that. I have to look into that. I will come up with something.
So the way that I solve this lack of trophy problem, stickers.
Ooh, stickers are great.
I have drawers full of stickers for my stuff.
Let me post up.
I love it.
The link for Katie's channel is in the description of this video. But I think I can post it if I can find it somewhere. Shit, I'll find it in a second. Lisa, ask a question while I type.
Did we already go over, and I'm sorry, I was gone for like 20 minutes. Did we already go over like how you got into competitive eating?
No, we didn't.
Joe didn't ask you about that?
Mm-mm.
Well, I figured she just was eating and somebody came by and said, you eat that really well. Would you like some monies?
No one ever did that.
Joe.
I just found a link to her channel and posted it in comments like a boss. So there.
No,
you can find Katie's channel there in the comments, and you can go subscribe to her channel. Go do that. And by the way, if you subscribe to this channel that we're on right now, and we get 500 subscribers, I will do something cool. I don't know. We get 1,000 subscribers. I'll fight a kangaroo.
Oh. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I will fight a kangaroo. They're opening up an aquarium down the street that has kangaroos, and I'm going to go fight one because they're just smug little bastards that sit there in their fedoras and smoke their cigars and wear their vests and talk all their Australian talk stuff. And I'm just going to have to go beat one up because put him in his place. You're in Texas now, buddy. Thousands of
I'm not sure that Joe really knows what a kangaroo is.
I get most of my information from Bugs Bunny cartoons.
I would recommend Googling people fighting kangaroos, or not Googling, searching on YouTube, and you can watch how aggressive kangaroos are. Because they just straight up attack people in Australia. It's not a joke.
then that's exactly why more people should fight them, just to put them in their place.
Oh, they do, but I think they're all drunk Aussies.
I mean, what bad idea ever came from a drunk Aussie? I rest my case. Anyway, so how'd you get into competitive eating?
Yeah, that's a really weird story. Probably is for a lot of people. So I always ate a lot as a kid. I'm one of those friends, like if you go out to eat with me and you're kind of a light eater, like I'm going to eat the rest of your food. That's what happens. I tend to draw people to me that want me to eat the rest of their food. So that's a boon to me. But I think in 2017, I started watching mukbangs, so like eating shows on YouTube, because one of my friends thought they were really funny. She's like, you should do this. You can make money. And I'm like, yeah, I really doubt it, but okay. And then one day, this channel got recommended to me, Beard Meets Food. He's a British competitive eater. I think he's like the self-proclaimed #1 competitive eater in England. And his channel has blown up since then. But I ended up watching like all of his videos. I was just amazed. And I remember showing it to like family and friends, like people that did not want to watch this because it's gross, but I thought it was fascinating. And my husband was joking with one of his friends one day, and I overheard him, and he's like, just watch, she's going to be doing this in like a month. And unfortunately for him, I was like, I could do that. So instead of losing weight for New Year's in 2018, I decided I was going to do competitive eating. And the rest is kind of history. Yeah, I started making challenges on my channel. My channel had been like stagnant for years. It started as a cooking channel and it kind of died off. So I started doing these eating challenges, and then I did a local contest, and a few people saw it on Twitter, and someone said, you should go to the Nathan's qualifier in California. And I was like, nah, I'm not good enough. And they're like, no, we think you are. So my whole family drove to California, and I qualified for Nathan's.
Wow.
Very cool.
Yeah. So how long was it between New Year's of 2018 and the time that you qualified for Nathan's?
Yeah, I think that contest was in June of that year. So it all happened really fast.
Huh. Very cool.
Yeah,
that is a pretty quick progression from we have this idea we want to do competitive eating, and then boom.
Well, there's two reasons I think that happened. One, the competitive eating world, as you can imagine, is incredibly insular. And once like people get a sense that you're interested, they really want to ingratiate you into the community and like one of us sort of attitude. So there's that. And then two, there's not many female competitive eaters. So they get extra excited about that. And it's, I mean, I'm not going to make any qualms about it. It's easier to qualify as a female eater because the numbers are lower.
I get that. Well, it's probably harder for you to qualify as a male eater.
Yes.
On account of you not being a dude.
Yeah, if you can't eat more than like 20 to 25 hot dogs, you're not going to qualify.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
But wait, do they actually have unisex like competitive eating competitions, or do they always separate them out, male and female?
Yeah, so the qualifiers for Nathan's, it's everybody at the same table, but the top woman and the top male both qualify to go to Pony. The rest of the Major League Eating contest, but that's just for hot dogs. So the rest of the Major League Eating contest, it's an even playing field. So it's just whoever wins.
Okay, that makes sense. I get that. Then I do want to share this one picture in particular.
Okay.
Like, look at this dude. You telling me he doesn't need to get punched in the face?
Look at the muscles on this guy though.
That guy needs. I mean, he's got it coming, is what I'm saying.
He's gonna knock you out with his tail or his feet. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, I'm a lot quicker than I look though. I'm just saying. He has it coming, and it'll be a great fight. And if Logan Paul can do it, I can do it. Screw those guys.
I don't think Logan Paul has fought a kangaroo.
I mean, it worked out good for him, didn't it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't see the fight.
Yeah.
Did it work out good for him? I don't know. I don't care. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna sneak in there one night with a camera, and couple of boxing gloves, and beat up a kangaroo. If we get 1,000 subscribers, so come on, people, y'all want to see me do something dumb? There may be whiskey involved.
I would hope so.
How
Really
many competitions have you done? Every
need to
single
talk
one
to your
since
wife about
2013?
insurance.
Was it every single one since 2013, or have you taken a couple of years off?
No, so the thing about Major League Eating that people don't realize, like, it truly is a hobby of love. Other than, so if you qualify for Coney and you're contracted, they pay for your travel and your hotel, and you have the chance of winning money. So that's great. But to get to a qualifier, you have to pay for all of that. So it's a personal investment. And that's the same for all of the other contests. So like when I go to Texas for tamales, when I go to Florida for corn, I'm paying out of pocket. That's my own weird personal vacation. So it usually is like my Mother's Day gift to myself or my birthday present to myself.
I got you. So you're doing this for literally for the pleasure, for the joy and glory and recognition and whatever else comes with, any cool, I don't know if do they do endorsements in the competitive eating world? I assume they do.
For really big eaters, I can count on one hand how many people actually make a living off of competitive eating. Maybe a little more than one hand.
Yeah, it sounds like it's not so much making a living off the competitive eating itself. It's the sideline stuff, like the really cool parties with the vomitorium after the after party.
The secret parties. For me, I was hooked when I went to that first qualifier in California. They have this wonderful MC, Sam Barclay, and he does these hilarious introductions for everyone, having the crowd and the energy. I used to be petrified to do anything sort of competitive when I was younger. So being an adult, like having embarrassed the heck out of myself so many times, like I don't care anymore. I feel great that I'm at a place in my life. Like I don't care. I could fail. It's fine. But being a part of that experience was just like so exhilarating that's why I keep doing it.
Cool.
I just love the contest.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Lise, you got anything else? No? Yeah?
No. I mean, this has been fascinating.
She's still stunned that I'm going to fight.
I'm so sorry that I missed like a third of it.
It just means you're going to have to watch it again and give me one more view. One more view with one more hour. Oh well.
Right. So
the comments over here have been.
This has been so interesting, and like I mean, what a neat thing to basically fall backwards into.
I know, right? Isn't it? Yeah. I'm really glad you decided to come. You decided to come join this nonsense. It was a fun talk with you last week when we were at the after party for 21090, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember which after party it was, but it was. I mean,
there's a few. So
fun and fascinating.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad you decided to come on the show. We're a little bit over the official happy hour. I don't know, where are we at? 10. Yeah, we're about 10 minutes over the official hour. You are welcome to hang out with this nonsense for as long as you want. But I'm not gonna like force you. I mean, I'd love it if you did.
No worries. I told the family, because you said hour to an hour and a half. I said 8:30. We will watch "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou." So I can hang.
Awesome. Okay, fantastic. So you're like, like I'm gonna go do this thing with this idiot in Texas. Yeah, there's hot dogs in the fridge. Y'all feed yourself. Yeah.
I made dinner.
Wait, no. There's like ham and cheese in the fridge. Don't touch mommy's hot dogs. That's my training food there. That's gonna win me glory in New York in a few weeks. Keep your hands off it. Our dolphin dogs.
Dolphin dogs.
They most definitely probably don't have dolphin in them. Maybe.
I think that would be too expensive for Bar S, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're supposed to be terrestrial.
It's probably
animals and hot dogs, not so much.
Probably
they got to say where it comes from, like, pork product, chicken
Mhm.
product, turkey-ish, whatever. And whatever I think is also on the label. All beef-ish hot dogs.
Yeah, all beef is a lot. There's a lot going on there. So
it's definitely all parts of cows. So, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? That's a series, right? Or is that a movie? That's a movie.
It's a movie.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sure if they made it into a series because it's also a series from the 90s and it's also a movie. Don't chirp at me.
What?
Is it a series?
It was a series in the 90s. It was like a 5-part miniseries, and I think it was 1990 specifically. It was dreadful. The series was not good. The movie was much better. Yeah. I mean, they definitely took a 2-hour movie and crammed it. They shoehorned it into 5 different hour-and-a-half episodes. I think it was hour-and-a-half episodes. Yeah. And sometimes it's tough to do that, to, shoehorn something into that big of a space. But, they managed to do it. They did it with The Hobbit. Took a 90-minute narrative and crammed it into a 3-hour movie. I blame Peter Jackson for 3-hour movies because there's absolutely no reason to make us sit through 2.5 hours worth of movie when you can. I mean, they took 4 movies to write The Hunger Games, for God's sakes.
Mm-hmm.
When we were kids, they did The Breakfast Club in 90 minutes, which was a tighter narrative, better acted, better written, and it's the same damn movie as The Hunger Games. They just did it in one show. They were done. Like, this is the story. And then, then they made that same movie like 6 more times with 16 Candles and Pretty in Pink. Anyway, but still, I digress into more movie nonsense.
Yeah, you're making this up about this television thing.
Yeah, I can't find it.
It was definitely a series.
No.
The book was a series in the 90s. It was a small series.
So it's not a book?
There's not a book.
It's definitely a book. It is definitely a book. It was written by Stephen King. It is a book.
No. No, okay. So I think you're thinking something else. So, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou is a Coen Brothers movie that is an adaptation of Homer's The Odyssey, which is a book.
Yeah.
But
I know. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou is not it. It is a different movie.
No, that's not what I said.
Okay.
No. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou is based on The Odyssey by Homer, which was like forever ago.
Oh yeah, that was like written in the 70s or something. 70 BC.
Lisa, help
70s, like the actual 70s. The 70s, like the 1st century BC.
Katie, I have to apologize.
I'm just gonna.
Yes, that helps a lot.
Yeah. I'm not sure what's. Oh, you're thinking of The Stand, I think is what you're.
No, The Stand was also a series.
That was a miniseries.
That was terrible.
And it was.
Yeah,
I thought it was really good, and they just redid
was 1990. It was a 2-part psychological horror drama mini-series directed by Tommy Lee Wallace, and it was dreadful.
Which has nothing to do with Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
But I asked if it was a series, and you said no, and then you were appalled. Oh my God, a movie can be a series. A movie can be a series. You're always looking at me like I have antlers growing out of my head. Do I?
I'm not sure the connection.
I do not have antlers growing out of my head.
They just redid The Stand, and that I actually think the original miniseries was better.
Did they? Did they redo The Stand?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. I haven't been paying that close of attention. When I didn't like the first miniseries that they did with The Stand. Let's do some quick train of thought is jumping off the tracks real quick. I didn't really like the original miniseries with The Stand. Did they remake it into a movie, like a tight 2-hour movie, or did they make it into another series?
No, it was another episodic show.
God. I remember that first. Oh, yeah. There was a bunch of those movies back in the 90s that were like the post-apocalyptic type of movies, and The Stand was one of those. And God, it just dragged on. It felt like it dragged on forever. Not like The Walking Dead is dragging on forever, but it felt like it was just Like they kept doing another episode and nothing was happening. It was so frustrating. But I was also like, I don't know, probably 16 at the time. It feels like it was right in the mid 80s. Does that sound about right? It doesn't matter. Let's talk about some other terrible miniseries that we've seen. I mean, the 80s was a heyday for miniseries. But I also blame Netflix for weirdly timed episodes too. Like 45-minute TV shows. That shouldn't happen. They should be 22 minutes or an hour, or like 30 minutes to an hour. That's it. They shouldn't be in between 30 minutes and an hour. That's dumb. You shouldn't do that. Like I've got 30 minutes or I've got an hour. I don't have 45 minutes. Nobody has 45 minutes. You block out an hour of your time. Like I can sit down and watch an hour of the show. Done. Out the door.
Yeah, but if you're watching an hour television show, you're watching like 18 minutes of commercials.
Oh, sure.
True.
So that's why on Netflix.
But that's just the point. Netflix doesn't have commercials, so you can get a whole hour of a TV show. None of this hour and 20-minute TV show stuff. It's just kooky.
I think it's about attention span and editing. I've noticed, like you mentioned, that movies are too long now. I agree. I'm okay with a long movie if there's a reason, but I do think like if you're going into the 3-hour mark, you should probably put a theater intermission in there. I think we need to go back to the theater intermission because I have to pee. I'm sorry. I'm
right.
But as far as Netflix go, I don't mind if it's 45 minutes. That's kind of nice. So like we watch movies a lot. So an hour and a half of my evening, that's fine. So 45-minute show, you can watch 2 episodes. But what really throws me off is there are shows now where it varies. So like one episode will be movie length. It'll be an hour and a half. And then the next one is like 40 minutes. You're like, right. I'm not sure how to schedule this.
See,
so
the big issue,
you're gonna have to look at it.
The big issue I have with those oddly timed shows, like if it's a 30-minute sitcom, like they had a 30-minute, like they had a block. They had to get this inside of 30 minutes. So they had to tell their story well. They had to write it well. They had to leave off extraneous stuff that didn't make any sense and dump a bunch of dumb side stories that didn't make any sense. 30 minutes, boom, boom, done, finished. Oh, if you got unlimited, like you could do whatever, now you have these dumb, stupid side stories that don't go anywhere, that aren't important, that are useless to the whole story. Or you have these movies that should be 90 minutes and they cram it into 2 hours and 15 minutes just so they can bring in this side story of the daughter who's really mad at her dad. And then she has to join the expedition. And then she goes off and wanders into a building and like, we have to save her. Like she shouldn't even be there. This is a dumb story. She's going to die. And then they go off and save her and everybody else dies. And she gets in the helicopter and then she crashes the helicopter. And there was absolutely no point to that narrative. We could have cut 45 minutes out of this movie. They could have cut 45 minutes out of the movie is what I'm saying. They're just,
I think you're thinking of a very specific movie that angered you.
That's like 9 different movies. And it's always the same dumb storylines. The estranged child comes in, like, I need to be a part of this job. You're like, I don't even know who you are. They're like, well, I'm your kid now. And like, all right, fine, I have a kid now. And then they, jump into the party and they screw everything up. And you're like, oh, that's why my kid's not talking to me, because they screw everything up. Anyway. So what I'm really saying is The Hobbit had 3 endings and it didn't have to. They could have wrapped that thing up. Or with Lord of the Rings, whichever one of those movies.
Really, really controversial, because I read all those books as a young person. I thought The Hobbit was my favorite. I like it much better than the Lord of the Rings series. They should have, when they made The Hobbit, they should have made it one movie. It was one movie.
Right. And originally it was one movie. It was mostly animated, or it was all animated, the original movie. But man, that could have been so much better movie if they hadn't just dragged their feet telling the story for. I mean, you could literally read those books in less time than it takes to watch the movie, because they were just like,
oh yeah, that was about money.
I can do art. Like, your art's dumb. Stop it. I'm kidding. Art's not dumb. Art's beautiful. But that art, in particular, was dumb. They should have just wrapped it up. Speaking of wrapping it up. We should probably wrap this up pretty soon. Katie, what cool things do you have coming up on your channel?
So I filmed 2 videos today. One is a hot sauce review, which will release on Saturday. And then the other one on Sundays, I have something I like to call Sunday Fun Day. And so I reviewed this. So I will admit I had a little drinky poo before I joined you.
Cool. I did too.
Nice. I thought you might have.
Yeah, me, not so much.
Lisa's still hard at work.
Well, she's at work. She's doing a show on a YouTube channel at the office. She's not working. She's answering the phone. Don't tell her, boss.
20 minutes.
That was actually somebody calling about a legal issue.
Yeah.
Sure
Yeah.
was.
It was.
We heard you in the background telling the delivery guy to bring the pizzas to the front door and just leave it. We know what you're doing.
Oh, I wish.
Just drop the Chipotle. Speaking of Chipotle, which we weren't, but name your favorite burrito place.
Oh. That's really hard. My house.
That's fair.
I make really excellent burritos.
And by your house, you mean your house, not Mikasa, which is also a burrito place here in town.
Yeah,
which is a
so
really good
either
burrito
myself
place
or
here in
my husband. We have perfected all foods that go in a tortilla. Dinner
All right.
burritos, breakfast burritos, wraps. We could have a food truck.
I got you. We need to have a conversation one day about the perfect burrito, because I have opinions on what the perfect burrito is like and how you construct the perfect burrito. And I've only ever found the perfect burrito at one place that sells burritos. And I have opinions on this, and my opinions are correct. Lisa, favorite burrito place?
Yeah,
It's hard.
I don't know. Because typically when I go to a burrito place, I don't order the burrito.
Sacrilege.
What
See,
do you
I can
get?
do without tacos, but I like
I
burrito.
can't-
Like, I mean, I could definitely do without hard shell tacos, but I really like good burritos that are made properly. And my go-to place is Freebirds here in Houston. Or I guess they're in Texas in general. My go-to place is Freebirds, and I have a visceral reaction to Chipotle. And you can ask my kids; they know I hate Chipotle, even though I know they haven't caused explosive diarrhea in like a decade. I still hold that against them. They didn't do it to me. It's just the risk of it happening is way too high.
I
My
do
son-
like guacamole, and they do make a very nice margarita.
Chipotle
Mhm.
makes a nice
Uh-huh.
margarita.
Mhm.
Oh, that's even more reason to hate that place.
My
It's
son used to
McDonald's.
get-
And there's
Burritos. It's McDonald's burritos. I mean, God.
With a little bit of like crunchy salt and lime on them. I like their chips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I Jack in the Box killed a bunch of people, but that can be forgiven. Chipotle acts like a burrito place that just, caused several bathrooms to explode, and I just can't. I can't forgive that. That's a step too far. But we'll have this conversation.
It takes time. It takes time. So, like I mentioned before, like growing up in New Mexico, we didn't have any Jack in the Boxes. I didn't know that was a thing because I knew of this mysterious place that had this horrible, disgusting bacterial issue, and so they all shut down. I didn't realize that they still had them in places until like I moved to California, now in Washington. Jack in the Box is like one of my favorite burgers.
It was the only
burger. burger.
It was the burger that I really liked most late high school, early college, because they were the only burger place in town that took debit cards. And I never had any cash. I always had, even at an early age, I was an early adopter of a cashless society. Actually, I just never had one, but
yeah, I think if you give it a few years, like people will forget about the Chipotle scandal.
I will never forget Chipotle. Plus, they make crappy burritos. I mean, no offense, Chipotle, you make crappy burritos, but And also,
Joe is asking me, what am I doing? Joe, I am drinking
Jay
whiskey
Wellman.
with my new
Hey,
friend.
Joe. Cheers, brother. Woo. Okay. So I guess I need to give my big thank yous to our friends over at Twitch who are hosting our channel, the Cabin Fever Livestream Network. That was a collective of artists who lost their stages in March of last year, thanks to the apocalypse, and they started their Twitch stream and are nice enough to host me on their channel. Everybody over on Facebook, hi, how are you? Follow us there. Follow, subscribe, like this video. Leave a comment. Drop a thumbs up. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. What else do I need to tell people to do on YouTube's? Is that everything?
Share with your friends and family.
Right. Share it with your friends and family. Take $1, put it in an envelope, send it to the distillery. Thank you.
Spay and neuter your pets.
And spay and neuter your pets. Right. Spay and neuter your pets. Okay. Or Lisa will kidnap their babies because that's what she does.
Don't make me do it.
She drives around in a truck with a giant net and she scoops them up off the sidewalk. And then sells them to Chipotle for their.
Oh, Lisa, you were a patient lady.
Okay. Yeah. Katie, not everybody in Texas drives a truck.
Oh, I'm sure. No, I've been there.
That's fair. Lisa doesn't always drive a truck, only when she's going out hunting strays to kidnap. Yeah.
I have 9 cats at home.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Five so far have found me since the pandemic started.
Oh.
Yes, she has taken them inside and locked the doors, and then they've decided that she has good food and they won't leave, but they also won't let her touch them.
Just that one.
Wow.
They have
I probably would have that many cats, except my husband is allergic, and we learned that early on in our marriage. That was sad. I have 2 dogs, and I probably have a gazillion more, but he says that I have to get rid of one if I want another one. So I just have 2.
Well, there you go.
That's not how this works.
At one point, I had 4 cats and a dog, but that was only because I was fond of my girlfriend, but I didn't, like, I was a young kid and I wasn't ready to get married. And I was like, here, honey, have a cat. So she had 2 cats and I had 2 cats. And then we got married and then I had 4 cats. And I was like, I should have had better forethought and not given my girlfriend a cat. And maybe gotten rid of one of my cats. And then I would have only had 2 cats. But now we only have 1 cat because it's been 20 years. And, at some point, like, you come to the realization that all the animals you knew when you were a kid are dead, and that's just what happens. It's been 20 years. I only have 1 cat, and it's not one of those cats. It's a different cat. So
this is getting dark, buddy.
Yeah, that took a dark turn. All the horses that were alive when you were a child.
Oh wow!
Are now dead horses.
Salute.
I think.
Katie, salute. It was a pleasure. Oh my God, this was so much fun.
It was so much fun, but wait. I'm reading the comments here, and I think I need to clear something up with tuna.
Oh, yeah.
Like I save the kitties.
Yeah,
right.
Just don't let them outside unsupervised while Lisa's roaming around in her dark trench coat with her net.
They're spayed and they're neutered and they have microchips and they live very happy lives inside and they are nice and safe. So,
yeah, if your cats are wandering around without a collar, they're clearly not in your yard, Lisa might rescue them. So be a responsible cat owner.
And mine wear those kitty convict collars that the same people who did the game Exploding Kittens and the cartoon, the comic strip, The Oatmeal. So, yeah, they have these little orange collars on them so that if they get out of the house for some reason, that's the sign that they're an indoor cat. And they should
there you go.
Oh, cool.
Return.
I like that.
Micah showed up. Hey, Micah.
Hi, Micah.
All right. Well, Katie, it's movie time for you. You need to go watch Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Tell the family we said hi. Give them my thanks for lending you to us for a couple of hours over here in Texas for this nonsense. Thank you so much, and cheers. I would say we'd love to have you back on the show, but we only got 2 more shows after this. We may not have, or we're definitely not going to have a quarantine happy hour anymore, but we may have another happy hour, another iteration of the happy hour. And anytime you're in Texas, especially in Houston, feel free to look us up. We'll have you in. I'll save you a seat at the bar.
Will do. Well, right. I'm glad that I got to get in there before it ended.
I know, right? And I mean, no lie, you're one of our best guests ever, and that includes that guy Micah who's down in the comments. I mean,
I'm not surprised. Micah was probably.
Although Micah is coming on our 100th episode, so I'm super excited to have him back for our 100th episode.
So if you ever come to visit, Joe lives near Intercontinental Airport, and I live near Hobby Airport. So we've got your transportation covered.
Awesome.
Exactly. Bingo.
Awesome.
And all the best restaurants in the world, so you can like get a whole nother trophy.
Excellent. Excellent.
All right, Katie.
Thank you so much.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, Lisa. Let me give 2 more updates. This is exciting. Next week, on our 99th episode, the penultimate episode of the Old Humble Quarantine Happy Hour, brought to you by the Old Humble Distilling Company. Spay and neuter your pets. We will be giving away this bottle of whiskey, which by next week very well might be a one-of-a-kind bottle of whiskey. This was actually labeled yesterday at the distillery. It was bottled up and labeled yesterday at the distillery. Is marked on the lid, the closure. It's called a closure, the cork. But we will be giving this bottle away next week on the 99th episode.
Yes.
And this is how it's going to work.
And it's that exact bottle. Because
it is this exact bottle.
So that
this
we
bottle
will know.
right here. And this is how it's going to work. I'm looking at it. It's just beautiful. It's an absolutely beautiful bottle. This is how it's going to work. We're going to start the show just like we normally do with nonsense and silliness. And then every single person who puts a comment up in the comments over here, there, in the comments, will go onto our Wheel of Fate. And then sometime around the 30 or 45 minute mark, depending on when I remember to do it, we'll spin the wheel. And whose ever name it lands on, if they be a subscriber to the channel, let me move my hand away from the light there, keep shadowing myself. If they be a subscriber to the channel, they will get this very bottle of whiskey. And it will be theirs to do with whatever they choose. Hopefully it'll be to drink, but I'm not judging. Your kink is your business. And then they will be able to enjoy themselves as people with bottles of whiskey tend to do. How the hell's that sound?
That sounds like fun. You know, they could also give it to a friend.
Well, they could. I mean, I was actually asked today at Specs how long one of these they were asking about the life of a bottle of whiskey and if it ages in the bottle and how long it lasts in the bottle after it gets opened up. And I told them if you have friends, probably just a few days. If you don't have friends, it could be months, especially if it's bad whiskey. I mean, my whiskey, I don't know. I don't know when it goes bad, but it only lasts like 3 days. Less if I have people over.
Right. That's interesting. I was just talking to somebody about this very issue the other day, and I was like, I really don't know. So, I mean, I know that wine goes bad, but I don't know.
That is a rumor that I have also heard, but
you've never had that happen to you.
If you have friends and it's good wine, it doesn't.
Right. So
No Limit suggested bonfires and blowing shit up, and I agree. That is a great way to spend a bottle of whiskey, is with a bonfire and blowing shit up. 4th of July.
Yeah, that's no.
Or just Tuesday. I mean, whatever. I'm not gonna judge your kink. Go right ahead. Do whatever, man. I'm down for it. But next week and in 2 weeks on the 100th episode, we're going to have Gamer, YouTube Gamer Raptor, YouTube Gamer, and internet personality Micah from Micah's Mix. We're going to have the Keeping It Neat guys. We're going to have 21090, the 21090 guys. We're going to have Slade Ham. Get my notebook and remind myself of what else we're going to be doing that particular night. I was thinking about doing this bottle giveaway on that night. Sideshow personality and general, I think Gadfly is the proper description for Jeff with a G.
I was going to say that sounds like Jeff with G.
Right. If I say Sideshow personality and Gadfly, like, hey, that's that guy. I think that is a good description for him. I'm going to let him have that for free. World traveling superstar comedian Slade Ham, 1/4 of the Whiskey Brothers. Wait, 1, 2, 3. No, 1/5 of the Whiskey Brothers. 1/3 of the core group of Whiskey Brothers. He'll be on the show. It's going to be a big show. I was thinking about doing the bottle giveaway on the 100th episode, but then I was thinking,
there's too much going on.
Yeah, I'm already thinking about starting the show 30 minutes early just so I can make sure everybody's in. And I'm still chasing down a band that I can get to play after we're done with our nonsense, and I sign off for the last time. Kick it to an actual talented person who can hold the screen for 30 minutes to an hour, and that'll be very similar to what our future iterations of our happy hour are going to look like. A portion with nonsense, a portion with interviews with talented people, and then actual artists to hold the screen for
doing their talented thing.
Yeah, and live from the distillery. It'll be an actual Old Humble happy hour, unless we have to go on the road, and then it won't be live from the distillery. It'll be live from wherever venue we're in, where we have talented people on stages doing things that talented people do, which could very much be eating 20 hot dogs.
I do not have that talent.
I do not either, but I can put away 5. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
And if you
shit, maybe.
My instinct is like to immediately go body. Like, you put a couple of drinks in me, I could definitely put away 1. See, that was might take more than a couple, but oh Jesus. It's just, you can't take me anywhere. That's what it is.
No.
That's what it is. You can't take me anywhere, because even if it's a Golden Corral, I'm going to be there at the chocolate fountain with my cup, just getting a cup full of chocolate and taking it back to maybe even just my head under the fountain, just drinking it straight. Take that, kids. I think y'all are gross. I know where your hands have been. Just imagine where this has been.
Stop!
Sir, you can't come back to this Golden Corral, and here's a towel. Good Lord. Okay.
So, do you have trivia for me this week?
Do I have trivia for you this week? I do. What country did the founder of Jameson's Whiskey hail from? Where was he born?
I'm going to go with Ireland.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
You are wrong.
Really?
You have brought shame upon yourself, your family, and your entire village. Burn down your office, change your name, and move to another place. I'm kidding. He's from Scotland.
Really?
He is the founder of Jameson's Whiskey was from Scotland. And if you followed my Twitter account, you would know that.
I do follow your Twitter account.
That was my daily fact. See, here's a fun fact about my stupid Twitter account. A year and a change ago, I started doing a good morning. Today is Tuesday, whatever post, and a little factoid of something either that I'm thinking of or that I looked up. And I started doing that because, also fun fact, every once in a while, that little factoid is something along the lines of, you need to do the laundry today, or today is garbage day, or because at the very early days of the apocalypse, all the days were running together, and it was basically the 65th of March at one point, and nobody knew what day it was. And I didn't know. I sure as hell didn't know what day it was. So I had to remind myself what day it was. Mm-hmm. And then some people were telling me, that's actually very helpful to remind me that it's Tuesday. Thank you. And I was like, yeah, it's entirely selfish, but you're welcome. And now I've been doing it now since March of last year, and I've carried it all the way forward to this year. And that was this today's little factoid. I don't remember. I think Monday's little factoid was it's garbage day, because Monday was it was Wednesday. Wednesday was garbage day. So
Tuesday is my garbage.
Today's Thursday, right? Yeah, today's still
Thursday.
Thursday. So yeah, the factoid yesterday was it's garbage day. Today's was Jameson's founder. I don't know, Scotty Jameson, whatever the hell his first name is, was Scottish. I don't remember what his first name was. And see, Walter thinks it's a great idea, and he also makes really good-looking labels.
He does. And you know what else about those labels, Walter? They go on nice and smooth.
Yes, they are very easy to handle. I like these labels so much. They're not overly sticky, and very rarely do we get bubbles, which is nice.
And when we do get bubbles, I am not the one who put the label on the bottle. Because I make sure there are no bubbles.
Hey, when we get bubbles, I've called the agency, and she comes and she's professional. I was waiting for that. That's like a joke grenade. That was awesome. It's like I pulled the pin and tossed it and just waited, and then it hit, and you were like, ah. Yes, the Italian Stallion wants to ask a serious question.
Oh my gosh. I sent you the recipe for the whiskey Italian Stallion.
You did.
I'm so disappointed you did not make it tonight.
Was it via text or was it via messenger?
It was by text.
Okay. I definitely remember seeing that. Italian Stallion, ask a question.
He's going to ask a serious question.
It's a serious question that is legitimate nonsense. Lisa, you're going to have to probably send it to me again. Favorite color of the alphabet, true or false? Oh, there it is. A bourbon whiskey cocktail drink. Maybe that'll be my drink for next week. Bourbon, Campari, vermouth, bitters, and a lemon. A twist of lemon. Yeah, maybe that'll be my cocktail for next week. And I'm going to go with, my serious answer is going to be orange juice. How about you?
Yes.
That sounds good. We're in. All right, fantastic. Guys, next week, Thursday, 9 p.m., the 99th episode of the Old Humble Distilling Company Quarantine Happy Hour. We're giving away this bottle of whiskey. See you then. Put a comment in the next week. Put a comment in the comments of the video as we're doing it. And at our minute 30 or somewhere between minute 30 and 45, we will draw the name off the Wheel of Fate. You'll get an invitation to join us. You'll be a subscriber, and you will get this bottle. And that is how it will work. Polka dot true. Anything else, Lisa?
No. I'm gonna, pack up here and drive home, hopefully. Yeah, although, I could do some more work.
You could, but you've got to be up there in the morning, and it's like 11.
I know.
So, speaking of which,
but I wore my blue light glasses tonight because usually at home I don't have them, and I've got the computer screen and the full spectrum lamp going, and so it takes me like an hour and a half to wind down after we've done this show because of the light. But tonight, blue light glasses. Yeah. So wish me luck.
But are they going to say you were up here till midnight last night? Why don't you come in at noon tomorrow?
Oh, I can come in anytime I want.
Oh, well then shit. Just stay and finish your work and just come in on Saturday. It'll be fine.
Oh, no, there's not going to be any water in the building on Saturday.
Okay, Lisa's on the northwest side of Houston, which is always under construction. So it's entirely possible that over at our Lebanon studios where she's at right now, something is broken. So should we call it the Gaza studio? Because the Lebanon's all put together now. Gaza's the one that keeps getting broken up. No. There's the line right over it to right here. Oh Lord. No Limit says pick up my logo. Oh, probably so. Okay, we can make that happen. Yeah, we can arrange that. Okay, Lisa, good night.
Good night.
Time for good night?
It's time for good night.
It's time for good night. Guys, tune back in about 30 minutes, and I'll be Old Humble Game Night when I wrap up my Chihuahua campaign and move on to, I don't know, Nuevo Leon and probably Mexico. If you don't know what I'm talking about, nah, you probably have a life.
I do know. I figured it out.
You don't know what I'm talking about because you don't buy into the stupid gaming nonsense. But hey, this is a good wind down for me. So the exciting thing, I'm playing California in this game, and blah 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 blah. Nobody cares. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, thank you for joining our nonsense. Big thank you to Katie from Beyond Seattle Eats. Go subscribe to our channel. If you're here in chat, subscribe to my channel. Let's get it up to 500 and we'll have a concert. We get it up to 1,000. I'm going to go beat up a kangaroo. And
no kangaroos.
The kangaroo's going to have it coming. I'm not going to beat up a nice kangaroo. I'm not going to go to one that's like in a suit coat and eating with a fork and knife. I'm going to go to one of those bastards that's smoking a cigarette and his stupid little fedora with his vest on and his little pocket watch, and he's sitting there whistling at your girlfriend. That's the one I'm going to beat up. I'm not going to beat up the one that's like dressed like a waiter. Those guys are cool. Come on, man. I'm not like a mean dude. I'm not going to beat up just a cuddly, adorable kangaroo. I'm going to beat up one of the ruffians, the douchebags, and sitting there all yoked and like, hey, what's up, girl? Like, I don't know how kangaroos talk, but I mean, I imagine it's something like that.
The cat-calling kangaroo.
Yeah, but with like an Australian accent. Like, "Oi, mate, you got a nice tan on your body." Whatever. I mean, I assume most Australians are really, really, really nice. So, which is why these asshole kangaroos, they got it coming, is what I'm saying. They got it coming. Which is a legitimate defense in Texas. So I hear. And No Limits, he's like, yeah, put it in writing. Make it. He'll have it. Well, yeah, there you go. Put it in writing. We'll have 1,000 subs tomorrow. I just see the challenge with putting it in writing is you got to get the kangaroo to sign the contract too. And I don't know if they're literate because they're just jackasses.
The kangaroo does not have the capacity to.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like they're koalas.
Koalas also do
no,
not
everybody knows that koalas are like accountants and lawyers. They're the good ones. It's the damn kangaroos that are like the ruffians that sit there and like they'll break your knees for $1. They're the bouncers and crap in the animal kingdom. I mean, everybody knows this. This is not like, I'm not making this stuff up. This is like known knowledge. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, for example, when we were in Louisville a couple of years ago, we go to the KOA and we leave some food on the counter or on the patio at the KOA, right? And then we come out the next morning and like the cooler's turned over and stuff is strewn all about. We knew it was opossums who did it and not raccoons because my hat was on the chair on the patio. And if it was raccoons, we know the raccoon would have tried my hat on because that's what raccoons do. They try on hats, see if they go with their vests, and they would have left his hat and taken my hat because my hat is definitely cooler than the raccoon's hat. So we know it wasn't raccoons. It was definitely possums because possums don't wear hats. Everybody knows this. It's logic and it's truth.
Joe.
There you go.
Say goodnight.
Good night, Lisa. See you next week.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, thank you for joining me for our show. Thank you for joining us, me, Lisa, my lovely co-host, and Katie from Beyond Seattle Eats. Join us next week where we give away this bottle of whiskey and have some more tomfoolery and nonsense. Subscribe to the channel. Be a good person. Talk to you later. Spay and neuter your animals. Cheers and good night.